If you're looking for films that's purely meant to be fun, then the Super Mario Galaxy movie should be at the top of that list. I watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and honestly, it is pure entertainment. Film, the movie doesn't try too hard to sell itself as some deep or profound story. It's simply a story the whole family can enjoy. It's action packed from the start and it keeps the story simple. There's a little lack of character development, but that's because there isn't so much to unpack in this movie. Everything is straightforward. There's no need for characters to go on their own self discovery journey. And yeah, there isn't much to unpack in this movie, like I said. The only thing that's left to unpack is how much homage this movie pays to all the Nintendo games. As I said, there isn't a huge story. Well, the story does go to bigger worlds, but it's not a huge story like most animated movies these days. It's not some big lesson that you have to learn, even though there are some small lessons along the way. This movie simply expands the Super Mario world, or rather, galaxy in this case. The movie is about Princess Rosalina, who gets kidnapped by Bowser Jr., and Princess Peach goes after them to try and save Rosalina, and Mario and Luigi joins them on this quest. And Mario and Luigi is then joined by Yoshi, who becomes kind of like their sidekick on this adventure. I don't know if people are still mad about Chris Pratt playing Mario, but I've actually come to like him in this role. I associate him with this role now. Charlie Day is phenomenal as Luigi. This is a role he was meant to play. The rest of the cast is amazing. Keegan Michael Key returns as Toad, while Anya Taylor Joy returns as Princess Peach. And the movie just wouldn't work without Jack Black as Bowser. Benny Safdie also takes on the role of Bowser Jr. and honestly, he is so good in this role. He comes across as menacing while at the same time a little childish and yet vulnerable at times. Yoshi is voiced by Donald Glover, which comes as a surprise, but he's actually really good as Yoshi. But since Yoshi doesn't say much, it's still a fun kind of Easter egg in this movie. And Glenn Powell is Fox McCloud, is also awesome in this role. And Princess Rosalina is played by none other than Brie Larson, who is a fan of the Nintendo games, who is an avid gamer, and she really does great in this role. I know this movie has a stacked cast, but the short runtime means that there isn't much character development. A part of me understands that they just wanted to create this action packed movie based on the Super Mario Galaxy game, but a little more time with these characters would have done wonders. It would have elevated the story and it could have expanded this world even more. But what the movie lacks in story, it makes up for in visuals. This movie has various animation styles, which I think fits perfectly. It honors the game by adding a few, I think it's 18 or 16-bit scenes that feels like the old Super Mario games. It also does a great 2D scene, which I think looks fantastic. It's the scene with Fox McCloud, so yeah. And well, there are a lot of reasons to like this movie, and I like it for all of those reasons because it's not just expanding this world, it's expanding this universe, and which means we can get more movies in the future, more stories from other characters from Nintendo, and that makes me excited. So overall, I think the movie is pretty great entertainment. It's funny, it's wholesome. I love the characters. It brings back some great childhood memories. So yeah, it's a nostalgia dump, but I love it for that. I will also have to subtract some points for the subpar story and the lack of character development, the short runtime, which I think wasn't necessary. They could have added a few more minutes, maybe 10 to 15 more minutes, and it still would have been short enough to tell the story while also adding some depth to the story. I know the film critics will probably hate this movie, but this movie isn't for them. This movie is for the gamers, people who grow up with these games. This movie is for the kids who enjoy these games and these movies. This movie is for families to just go out and have fun. And that's why I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars, simply because it's entertaining and I really enjoyed my time with this movie without expecting too much.